Hey, hey, hey. What's up, LidoConnect? If you were here in 2017, you know what that's all about. Lido is much better than BitConnect. But I'm Anthony Bertolino. I'll introduce myself in a sec, I guess. We're going to talk about squad staking for all Lido operators. And who got the clicky? I think we'll have to click back and forth. Switchy switch. Yeah, that's fine.
All right, I think I know many of the people in the room, but in case I don't know you already, I'm Chris. I run product strategy for DV Labs. I've been working in the Ethereum staking space for quite a long time. Since the very beginning, I helped create the original launchpad on ethereum.org.
Okay. I go by homevalidator.eth. I co-founded a company called I Trust Capital. I coined the phrase crypto IRA. We do crypto retirement accounts. I also worked at POAP doing precious digital collectibles, a lot of great stuff last market cycle, and now working at DV Labs, distributed staking technologies. I thought I changed that to say like expanding the validator ecosystem, but we do all these things. So for those who do not know, we announced the Obol Collective probably 6 months ago, and we are building the validator ecosystem. And this includes staking protocols and products that we all know and love. This includes DV client teams, right? Caron, doing work with Nethermind, etc. The DV tooling, everything in this ecosystem, the tools that you need and that you can use, as well as the validator operators, some of you, many of you, and everything else, right? Researchers, stakers, etc., and squad staking, and the technical credential. And one thing I want everyone to understand is that Obol scales Ethereum. So Obol scales Ethereum. We've spent a lot of time in Ethereum scaling the execution layer with optimistic rollups and ZK rollups. Everyone loves Optimism, Arbitrum, Tycho, and many more. And we've also spent some time scaling DA, right? We all heard about Celestia, had a great hype cycle, but Ethereum's DA is king, but a lot of people are working on scaling DA. And now we are scaling the settlement layer. Obol, we are investing heavily in here. Also our friends at SSV. Mwah. And let's take a look at how we are providing the flywheel to bring exponential value to validators. And so this includes technology, the validator community, the technique credential, and all of this, of course, the protocol ecosystem. And we wrap all of this up in retroactive funding to be able to build this sustainable loop that we all love. And this means more access to better opportunities, better performance, and better security for the validator ecosystem. And now, take it away.
All right, so Simple DVT was the second module for the Lido protocol. It's essentially very similar to the original curated set module, with one big difference, that the operators within the module are actually clusters, which are essentially groups of people running the validators and performing the duties of the validators together. So a bit of history on Simple DVT. Lido started testing out distributed validators on Obol 2 years ago to this month, and they continued in 2023, and then on to a year ago where they had a third test net that was a copy of the Simple DVT module that you see today on mainnet. So one of the big value adds that Simple DVT provided to the Lido protocol was the ability to onboard a whole new set of operators that couldn't previously be added. So they started out at the very beginning of this year with cohort 1, and then cohort 2, and cohort 3 will be onboarding here shortly, and that will bring on over 200 operators to the set. So who are these operators? The Simple DVT module, the specific Obol clusters within them, are they have some curated set operators, and they also have professional node operators that couldn't make it into the curated set previously, but they are majority solo stakers and community stakers. So a majority of the Simple DVT module operators are non-professional operators.
Ooh.
All right, so how did they perform? So this is a snapshot from this month in the last 30 days. And we've done this over the last several months with similar performance. But you can see here that the OBL specific clusters and simple DVT are outperforming the Lido curated set on the aggregate and is also on par with APR. So to sum up simple DVT, it's onboarded 200 plus operators, or will once cohort 3 goes live, across 36 clusters, 6 continents, and has an improved effectiveness rating and Raver score.
Let's go, simple DVT. And now briefly talk about Lido CSM. Just kind of philosophically, I'm super glad that home stakers, solo stakers have another place to go. You know, Rocket Pool kind of pioneered enabling lower barriers to entry, and now CSM is the sort of best place to go for many reasons, which for those who don't know, CSM, you could listen to Dimitri's talk later. I'm sure it'll be recorded. But you know, just to revisit challenges of solo stakers, there's a huge financial barrier that we all know. There's still a very large technical barrier, of course, like among others, generating keys, I hate, and other things. And it's just seriously lonely. It's lonely. But with squad staking in the CSM, oh wow, we're really on the older slide, huh? The benefits of squad staking in CSM is, first is that financial barrier. So squad staking in CSM gets to as low or lower than 0.2 ETH bond. And so this is super important because even though many of you have been staking, vanilla staking for a while with 32 ETH, or you maybe even have 1.5 ETH with things like CSM, many people still don't, and they still want to validate on mainnet. And so this is a big perk of squad staking in CSM. And of course, we have sort of this shared responsibility, the squad effect. And this is being able to work with others, making your life easier, having also, you know, if your node goes down, the validator still stays online. All of the normal benefits that we love from OBL DVs. And finally, you know, we mentioned it's hard, right? You can also obtain a silver Technic credential. So we are also investing in making onboarding as a home operator easier. My favorite thing is the fact that I do not need to deal with keys in a secure key generation. I just do the DKG that is built with Charon. I don't need to air gap my computer or anything and deal with complicated key management. And we'll get into what the Technic credential actually means, but let's look at what Vitalik said recently. So squad staking reduces the cognitive overhead of staking and ensures solo staking prospers in the future. And with technologies like statelessness and L1 EVM validity proofs, squad staking will become even more valuable. And so this is sort of a snapshot in time where we're in the early days of squad staking. And anyone who is squad staking now, you are very, very much experimenting with a new movement in Ethereum that has certain benefits and certain frictions that are going to only improve over time. And again, with things like statelessness, L1 EVM validity proofs, and other things coming on the Ethereum roadmap, we will see squad staking and the roadmap of OBL, we will see squad staking continue to get better and better, and everyone is going to love it. Okay, now Technic credential. For those who don't know, the Technic credential is an on-chain attestation that certifies the skill of those running validators, distributed validators. And this, the biggest thing here is this unlocks delegated staking opportunities. And the reason how this works is right now, if you are an operator, you are primarily leaning on reputation or brand most oftentimes. And if you are not an enterprise operator and you are a small operator, you need to try to build your brand to capture delegated stake. And we all know that aside from the large enterprise operators, we then go down all the tail, all the way to the normal solo staker. And building reputation there is very difficult. And so, and this is why we have bonded economic models like CSM. And so what the Technic credential is a new paradigm shift, which is an early shelling point for home operators, small operators. I added small operators there. This is the old slide, sorry. And this is how you build credibility. So you have sort of this new reputation that is not just your Twitter profile, who you know, branding, but is skill-based. It is a verifiable attestation. And some quick numbers from just 3 weeks since launch. 141 individual nodes consisting of 20 unique squads. And so if we look at the unique operators on CSM, I think we're around 200. 20 of those are actually squads, but because it's squad staking, within that, we have 141 individual nodes or individual operators. We can't verify that those are all individual operators, but again, this is very attractive because it's only been 3 weeks, and so we're helping to further decentralize Ethereum and gain adoption for CSM. Okay, and this is the big takeaway. This squad staking in CSM is the easiest path to mainnet. Again, many of you have been validating on mainnet, but we may take that for granted. If you do have 32 ETH, if you even have 1.5 ETH, many people can still not validate on mainnet with such a level of bond, and this is now the lowest barrier to entry. And then once you do access it, you now obtain a silver Techni credential, which opens you up more to further delegated staking opportunities. Okay, future pathways. Just gonna briefly, talk about a few things. Do you want to start with simple DVT?
Yeah, I'll just add that I think simple DVT set the basis and foundation for distributed validators in the Lido protocol. It showcased like that with a non-professional operator set, you can have better performance or on par APR. So that sets the basis for what happens in the future, and if it extends simple DVT or goes into further modules.
Yes. And what I like to say in this, I haven't really said this to too many people, it might not land well, but like Ethereum is on the rollup centric roadmap, I feel like Lido is on the module centric roadmap. And Obel, we, as we've helped with the first 2 modules, we also want to help continue with Lido pioneering this module centric roadmap. And we want these to be ETH aligned. We want these to be decentralizing for Ethereum. And we want to work with the community to build the next 2 modules. We have 2 different modules that we are thinking through. One of them is more for social impact for Ethereum, and the other one is more for expanding the validator ecosystem. And we don't have a lot to share here, but we want to co-build it with you. And so meet us, talk to us, and the final call to action is you can learn how to start squad staking in Lido CSM at the upcoming StakeCat workshop. I don't know where that is. I think that should happen soon.
I think it's at 4:30, and I think there's like a workshop area down this hallway, I believe.
Squad!
Squad.